Coach Harbaugh coming in here, got so much respect for the University of Michigan, their history, their traditions, their program. Obviously, Coach Harbaugh's done a great job for them as well. Coming into the season, they returned 16 starters, 8 on offense and 5 on defense, and 3 specialists. When you kind of look at them on tape and on film, starting with their offense, obviously that we got a lot of history with Josh Gaddis. Very happy for him professionally, very happy for him personally. Obviously, a great opportunity to go be the offensive coordinator at the University of Michigan. Everybody knows that we were together for a long time. Josh was with me at Vanderbilt for 2 years and then here at Penn State and did a fantastic job. So I want to thank Josh for the job that he did when we were together. And again, very, very happy for him and his family. Obviously, we're excited to be back in Beaver Stadium. Going on the road and winning is tough. Last week we had to deal with it, and hopefully we can create an environment here that's the toughest environment in all of college football. I think we're part of that argument. I don't think there's any doubt about it. I think Saturday's a great opportunity for us to prove it and show the world. 100 and Chris, what technically can we fit in the stadium?
Well, we announced 110 and change.
Scott, what was Scott back there?
6 and changes.
What can we get? I mean, what can we really get in there? So Scott says 112,000 is what we can get in there, and then I think another 300,000 tailgating, another 600,000 alumni watching all over the country and the world, and then hopefully we can recruit another 500,000 maybe borderline Penn State fans that we can get on board with us this weekend. So
does Michigan's offense look radically different than from what you've seen from them in the past? And since they do have aspects of what you've been doing, how can that help you and your team in preparation?
Yeah, I think obviously, they have familiarity with us. We have familiarity with them. But again, there's some Penn State in there. There's some Alabama in there. There's some Michigan in there. So there's familiarity in both directions. So I would say in some ways they're probably more familiar with us than we are with them because Josh didn't leave right from Penn State and go there. He's had other experiences. He's had other influences.
With Robert Windsor, he seemed especially determined in the off season to make the most of this year. What maybe stood out to you about his preparation coming into the season in the spring and the summer, and how rewarding is it to see it pay off for him?
Well, he's a senior. He's a year older. He's more mature. I saw his mom after the game and gave her a huge, long hug and just was telling her how proud I am of Robert. I mean, literally in every aspect of his life. The young man that it's funny. He told a story Friday night before the team about how his family just dropped him off with all his bags and just left. To think about that young man that his parents dropped off from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin 5 years ago, and to think about how he has matured and grown in every area of his life, and a kid and really a family that are so appreciative of the whole Penn State experience. To me, that this is why you do it. That's what it's all about. And I couldn't be more happy for him. This is and this is how you want the story to play out.
You said you studied the run game after last year because you didn't think it was sophisticated enough. What sort of things did you study, and how is the run game more diverse now?
Well, we were pretty much, and again, I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but we were pretty much an inside zone team. That's what we were. We had variations of the inside zone, and it really wasn't last year. It's really been the last 2 years with Ricky. I just felt like we needed more diversity, in our running game. We had the inside zone, and then we had the tackle wrap schemes that we did. I think some of the stuff that we're doing now Some of the counter, depending on what category, family, kind of how you view football, how you put it in. But some of the counter stuff we're doing with the guard pulling and the tight end pulling as well, and wrapping and leading through. A lot of that stuff showed up in our 4-minute offense at the end of the game. So now not only do we have a little bit more diversity in normal downs throughout the entire game, but also when you get into some of those situations where you want to be able to run it at times where everybody in the stadium knows you're going to run it and have the ability to do that. I think it's the first time we've done that against that type of opponent in my 6 years since I've been here. So I think that is a critical moment, in our 6 years on the offensive side of the football.
KJ, can you describe his personality in depth a little bit and the effect that it has on your team, his teammates? Is it unique at all, the energy and his style?
I think that play the other night where we threw the little swing pass to him and there was 12 defenders around him and he found a way to get 3 yards, 3 of the most exciting yards you've ever seen in a first down, is exactly how we drew it up and schemed that play to work out. But he's been phenomenal. Not only is he a dynamic player, but he's a dynamic personality. He walks into team meetings, he walks into interviews, he comes out to practice every single day, and 99.9% of the time, he lights up the room. He brings energy. It's infectious. It's fun. You want to be around him. You want him around others. It's special. He's got 2 great parents. Dad is awesome, but I think his personality probably most closely aligns with Mom. You guys have all probably seen the rap birthday videos that they've done. That's how Mom is. She's the same way. They're great. So I love KJ. I love the whole family. As you guys know, I've said this before. KJ would fall into this category as well. I'm going to try to send Mom and Dad away on a romantic vacation up in the Poconos with them old heart-shaped beds that they used to have in the late 70s and early 80s. Mount Airy Lodge and the champagne glass hot tubs they used to have up there. People used to go vacation and try to convince them to have another child to come to Penn State. That's how much I love KJ and have enjoyed having him as part of our program.
James, Sean Clifford has 252 yards rushing, which is second on the team behind Noah. Has Sean's ability to run the ball this well been a surprise to the coaches, or did you get the sense in the preseason that he would be this effective?
I actually thought that you and Audrey were going to find a way to get me to rank him on the running back depth chart. Yeah. But no, I think I'd mentioned to you guys this offseason that that Sean probably doesn't get enough credit for the type of athlete he is and how he came in with, certain numbers in terms of running, jumping, and change of direction, and has worked really hard at attacking that. I remember specifically a time 2 years ago where he did something really good at practice, and I pulled him to the side and I said, look, you're doing some great things. I said, but you have got to get faster. You have got to get, more explosive for us to be able to run our offense the way we want to run it, and for you to have the type of impact we want you to have. And I remember some people thought that was funny. But I look at how hard he's worked, and I'm not saying that conversation was the reason he's worked so hard, because that's how he's wired anyway, but he's really worked himself into a really good athlete, and now we're not going to go into a game with a game plan to run Sean, but when opportunities are there for him to extend plays or make plays with his feet, he can do it. Now, the thing that he can't do, that we got to spend time working on, which he's not good at, is sliding. It's like literally little league baseball slide. It's like it doesn't look natural. It's awkward. So literally we're going to spend time at practice like sliding. getting down.
Did you get any feedback from the Big Ten with respect to Pat's touchdown, non-touchdown?
No, not really.
Nothing at all.
I mean, I did, but it's not appropriate to talk about
All
here
right.
in this setting. If they want to say something, they'll say something. I'm not going to speak on behalf of the Big Ten, but Michigan.
And how close is Justin Shorter to maybe being a more of a consistent impact type player? I know he's dinged up a little bit, but it looks like his numbers aren't quite where some of your other starters are.
Well, I think that's more he's missed some games. We're very excited about Justin. He's done some great things, but he's basically missed 2 games because the game he got injured in and went out of the game, he didn't play the rest of that game, and then missed the whole next game. So I think that's really it. He's got a very bright future. I think all 3 of those guys complement each other really well. In Jahan and his style of play, and KJ and his style of play, and Justin and his style of play, and obviously Justin being very different at 6'4", 230 pounds. Daniel George has done a nice job as well. Chisina's done a nice job as well. We feel like we got a really good group. Mac, there's a bunch of guys that we can talk about. But yeah, I think the only difference between him and his other guys is he's missed time and they haven't.
Michigan, 21 sacks on the defense. What do you have to do to handle their pressure and kind of keep Sean upright this week?
Yeah, I think it always comes down to 2 things. It's number one, matchups, and making sure that our fundamentals and techniques give our guys the best chance to be successful against their matchups. And then on top of it, it's having a really clear understanding of who and what they are, how they're trying to attack your protection, and being able to identify it early on. I think we had one sack this year where obviously we didn't ID the blitz correctly, and Sean got hit. The guy completely untouched came running free on him on a blindside hit. And there's going to be times where guys get beat, but you got to make sure as much as you possibly can that you got a hat on a hat, so that we can protect our quarterback. The ball can come out on time, and we got a chance to be successful on offense. For the most part, I think we've done a great job of that. I think Michigan and Don do as good of a job of attacking people's protections as anybody, over his time at Michigan. So not only are we going to have to be ready for what we've seen on film, but we're going to have to be ready for something that he pulls out of his bag that he hasn't shown yet, specifically to attack us.